Hi, welcome to Bad Music Taste and Other Ways to Ruin Your Life. My name is Dominic.
And my name is Sam. Dominic has a record this week.
This week's record is the Discord 200 box set featuring the first 6 Discord records and one that never was. Anyways, today we're talking to Holden Wolf of Combat and Soursop Records. How's it going, Holden?
Doing awesomely well. Hold on, let me move this. Doing awesomely well and fantastic.
Awesome. So how'd the Combat project first start?
It started no. It started technically in 2019, the end of 2019. I really can't remember what I was listening to at the time, but I was like, I wanted to start a band, but I didn't want to rope any friends into it. So I was like, man, I guess I'll just write something on my computer. It started it was called DS1. It's still up on Bandcamp. I don't have the password to it, so I can't take it down. But it was like late 2019 or early 2020. And that's Guantanamo Bay. It was like the first single I ever did. And then I threw that out pretty much until we were all in quarantine. I was like, I guess I'll make another record. And then I just called it Combat at that point. But
was that DS1 song? Is the same recording, the one that ended
the same
up on
recording.
Okay,
it's the exact same recording. Yeah. Yeah.
So as we mentioned, you run a label called Soursop Records, but was this something you'd always wanted to do?
Yeah. Soursop actually started before Combat, and it was for we started for my band, me and Josh from Combat's band Dakota Condition, just like our old sort of noise rock, very Fugazi influenced band. Because we knew we wanted to put out cassette tapes, but we were like, oh, I don't want to do Dakota Condition record. Just start a record label. I want to say the initial plan was for it to be run by 2 people, but I think somehow it just ended up I just took on the brood of everything and just now it's a one-man operation. But yeah, I've always wanted to do it for a really long time, and we're still going strong.
Do you think part of the reason for starting it was wanting to bring cassettes back and stuff like that too?
So I thought I still do think cassettes are real cool. I just I don't know, this is the most pretentious thing ever. The analog of it is really aspect of it is really cool, but it's also just it's a fun medium to collect, especially myself as a huge cassette collector. Really, really fun to collect. They're cheap, so you can make variants of it for not very expensive. I can get cassettes cranked out in 2 weeks. It's just fun. It's really cool and convenient and fun.
I think it's funny how it's cassettes can be produced so quickly, and then vinyl will take a year. You know?
Oh, yeah. And it wasn't even like that. I remember when we put out the Dakota Condition record, we're like, oh, maybe we should do vinyl. And vinyl turnaround at the time was 2 months. We're like, 2 months? We're not doing that. Now it's a year and a half. So bad.
Yeah. But Combat's new record, Text Me When You Get Back, was recently recorded at Inner Ear. So how was it recording at Inner Ear?
Fantastic. It was so cool. And we were also nervous because we recorded with Don, who, as I'm sure you know, did all the Minor Threat, all the big Discord stuff. And so we're like, oh my God, I haven't even met, I saw him play once. I've never met this guy. And we're all just sitting in the parking lot of Inner Ear, which is it's just a weird alleyway, you know? It's all sketchy. You're this isn't where Inner Ear is. And you see a little tiny sign that says Inner Studios. We're like, oh my God, is this the place? Is Don gonna come up? And then we see this dude walk out with socks and flip-flops on, walking into the studio with a little
sandwich.
Yeah, literally the sandwich. We're yeah, that's him. And then we just knocked. We're hey, we're Combat, we're recording today. Yeah, it was so fun. It was nerve-wracking, definitely, because we only had one day to record. It was the one day that we were all free. We knocked out the whole record, most of which in one take. And it was really great, but the whole time we were just sitting there looking at each other oh my God, so surreal. We've all wanted to record there for since we were super, super young. So it was very cool.
Yeah, how'd you guys make the switch over to chill wave for this?
So I play bass in a band called Courage, or I occasionally play bass in a band called Courage Mother. I don't think anymore, but and they are signed to Chill Wave. A bunch of my favorite bands are on there, like DIY, smaller bands like Oolong and PS You're Dead, which is like a sort of locust grindcore kind of band. And our friends in a band called Blue Deputy and Khaki Cuffs are on there. And we played with them over the summer in 2021. So it was in like November. I reached out and I was like, hey, do you want to put out my record? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Like a bunch of people like referred us to them, and they're all super down with it, and they're all real nice. It was very easy, very comfortable.
Yeah, it was funny seeing how much like just combat like blew up after text came out, you know?
I don't understand it. I don't I don't know. It's not making sense to me.
And it went from like 1,000 to 2,000 in what, like a
No.
handful of days.
In like a week. Yeah, no. We didn't even think it's the Spotify release radar playlist that does it. But it's like when Hey Tucker came out, the second single, we were like, oh, I guess it's not doing too well because it had like 200 streams while like Text was like becoming our like biggest song ever. And then overnight, it was just like doubled, immediately up there. We were all so stoked about it. But yeah.
Are any other singles coming out soon?
No, but I mean the record comes out in
Like
3 weeks.
yeah.
Right.
Which is oh my god. Like
I'm really excited. Literally, like, this is the longest I've been working on any piece of art ever. Like I wanted this record to come out in like summer, like last summer, which is just my fault. We were playing, Combat did a little mini tour up in New Jersey and New York, and I left a hard drive with all the stems for the record on it in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And like I was like texting all the guys there. I'm like, hey, have any of you seen this? And they were like, no, we don't know where it is. I'm like, oh, okay, you know? And then it's literally the hard drive sitting on my shelf over there, but like I couldn't work on it for like a week. And then I just like drove up to New Jersey and like, I'm just gonna find it. And then somebody in the house luckily found it behind like a washing machine. But like that was a grueling 6-hour drive.
yeah. Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, I have to ask, why Weezer?
Dude, fucking rule. They fucking rule. Okay. Barry from Joyce Manor recently did a podcast where he talks about with I want to say it's called Bandsplained, where he talks about Weezer for like 6 hours. They are a fucking solid band. They have a lot of really terrible songs. Dude, I don't know. They make me happy. I grew up on them.
I'll admit, I'm not as much of like an active like hater as I feel like Dom has some strong opinions.
We've gotten so much shit for the Weezer thing. Like people are mean to us about it. I'm like, dude, I don't care. We're having fun. Hush hush. It'll probably get announced by the time this comes out. Whatever. We're doing Weezer again in March. With a bunch of our friends' bands.
Like another tour as Weezer?
No, not. I'd love to. I would love to do another Weezer tour. We're doing like a house show, which with a bunch of, it's like another cover show, sometime in March.
I was gonna say you guys are turning into Primus with like the Weezer tour.
Oh my God, Primus Rush! Oh my God, yes. I don't know who the drummer of Primus is, but he's for Neil Peart, for Neil.
That was just like randomly after Neil died. They were just like they just went on tour.
Yeah, I still don't even know if that tour happened. I just think it's the funniest thing.
Did you go to that show?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Rush is a band that I can appreciate, but I never really got into. you know? And then like whenever we're in like the combat van driving to a show and we're all like about to fall asleep or whatever, like we're coming home, it's like 2 a.m. I'll just like throw on Tom Sawyer and everybody like starts laughing.
The thing is, like, yeah, Rush themselves aren't terrible. It's Rush fans
It's
that are the worst people.
The Rush aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're either like, yeah, Rush is okay. Rush is all right. Or like Rush is the only band that exists.
2112 till death.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Jesus from the Dead Ringers, who actually plays drums on the Combat record, his like old Instagram username used to be like Little Drummer Boy 2112. And it's like so funny.
Yeah, the other day, I was the first one to get at Jesus's house, and then Matt was the second. And he walks down there, he's like, yeah, this is a nice setup. Points at like the Rush print behind Jesus's drum set. He's like, what the fuck is that?
Dude, oh my god, he has a framed picture of Geddy Lee in an Orioles shirt. It's so funny.
Yeah, so Matt was like, I'm gonna need you to take this down.
Right.
But this is kind of a basic question, but we've noticed that it gets people talking. What were like the first 5 records that influenced you and why?
Oh. Ooh. Isn't on the spot. Because you brought up Weezer, obviously Pinkerton and Blue, I'll count those as the same record. Those were very, very important. Golly. Walk Among Us by the Misfits. I feel like that's important to everybody. Same with like Fresh Fruit, Dead Kennedys. These are all bands that I like, listened to when I was in high school or like middle school. And I just like don't think about now, but like definitely would not be here without. Man. Okay. So let's say Weezer, Dead Kennedys. Oh my god, what was the other one I brought up? Whatever. Let's say Misfits. Say Red Medicine by Fugazi. Maybe Yank Crime by Drive Like Jehu. I love that record so much. I just never think about it. Yeah, none of those besides Weezer are visible in Combat at all. If I were to choose one that's somewhat relevant, maybe I Look Like Shit by Jeff Rosenstock. That's a big one. Because that, like, as with like the first 2 Combat records and Amalgam, was also done like entirely with a drum machine and a laptop and like in a bedroom, but still sounds cool.
Yeah, I'd say in Combat, I hear like 2 bands the most. I'd say the Ergs. I hear a lot in Combat. And just the work ethic around it is very much Bomb the Music Industry.
Yeah, actually, because you bring up Ergs and like all that shit, fucking Brave Little Abacus, Masked Dancers, and Just Got Back from Discomfort. Like, oh my god, I listen to those like every day, at least every other day. I'm literally getting a Masked Dancers, Brave Little Abacus tattoo. Like that band is Okume. That record is perfect. Fantabulous, very important to my creative being.
Well, yeah, you turned me on to Bomb the Music Industry, and I started reading about that, and it was like, Bomb the Music Industry uses a revolving door lineup, like around Jeff Rosenstock. I was like, holy shit.
Okay, so it's so fucking bad because like that wasn't even conscious. That was not a conscious decision. It just happened. And then there's more shit like, Bomb did a Weezer tour too.
It did?
Yes. Because like I think it was during
the Lagoon.
Yeah, they hit the Goo Lagoon. No, it was during like Weezer was doing this Memories tour. They were playing songs from their first 2 records, but it was like $200. So they were like, no, we're just gonna learn these songs. We're gonna play them for $5. And people kept on requesting them. But actually, I went to Soundgarden in Baltimore. I have this right next to me. I went to Soundgarden in Baltimore and picked up this Mustard Plug waiting room.
Oh my god.
And the B-side is Bomb the Music Industry playing Gold Sounds by Pavement. I've been looking for this record for like fucking years. But it's just
I didn't know that was on wax. I thought that was just like on wax. I thought that was just the Spotify thing.
Yeah, honestly, I cannot get with the. Have you heard the Mustard Plug waiting room cover?
Yeah.
I cannot get with it.
Are
I'm
you
about to
going to
do it.
see him
I'm about to do
in
it
like
better.
April?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I
Um,
love Mustard Plug.
I don't know. I'm debating it, because like this mustard plug,
Right. They're gonna be playing for another 15 years.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing until like their singer dies.
Yeah, until they drop.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're one of those bands where like you can live without them. You can live without them.
There's got to be some Mustard Plug ride or die right now.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like shreds.
there's
But
so many bands that have perfected leaving for like 20 years and then coming back and then breaking up for another 2 years and then coming back and selling out every show.
I found out that the Strokes reunited, like that they weren't always a band. I found out that there was a point in which they broke up. Yeah, the Strokes weren't always a band. Like they I guess they formed it. I knew nothing about this, but I just heard somebody say like, yeah, the Strokes reunion. I'm like, reunion? I thought they were always like
Right. I didn't know they ever broke up.
right. They got in a little fight.
Yeah, and it's like a Veil went away for like 15 years and then they came back and then they went away for 2 years and now they're back.
Oh, Veil was pretty good when I saw him back in like 2018 at Riot Fest, or maybe 2019 at Riot Fest. They were like so good.
I was at that like reunion show in Richmond. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was the one.
That was the one.
That was the one. Yeah.
I remember seeing like Invasive Guamper just like sitting outside the venue, like just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, like Jawbreaker broke up for like 20 years and then came back and then went away for 2 years.
I didn't expect that one.
No. Have you heard about that band Jawbreaker reunion?
Yes. Yeah, and they play all these shows and like Jawbreaker reunion would be on the bill and they're like, oh my god. Mm-hmm.
There was a show where Blake from Jawbreaker played an acoustic show with Jawbreaker reunion.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's so funny.
People went to see Blake Schwarzenbach with Jawbreaker reunion.
So funny.
Yeah, on one hand, I'm like, that's so shitty to like put Jawbreaker reunion on the bill, and then on the other hand, I'm like, that's so smart.
No, it's so funny. It's hilarious.
But kind of backtracking a little bit, what inspired you to carry out music as like a career?
I was always around it, you know. There's a really solid picture of me when I was like 3 or 4 years old at Fort Reno seeing the Evens. So just like very young me, and there's like, oh, there's Ian McKay in the background. It's like I was, always surrounded by music. My dad helped set up this space called the Charm City Art Space in Baltimore. They had a bunch of shows, so I was always around that. So I feel like I just kind of grew into it. I want to say I started playing bass when I was like 12, and then I picked up guitar when I was probably 14. I've been doing it. It's been fun. It hasn't really it's never been something I considered like, oh, I guess this is what I'll dump all my time into until like early 2021. And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess but besides that, like when I play with my own band Dakota Condition, it was like we'd record a record, we'd play some shows, and our shows would be like hectic, like running in people's faces, screaming and shit like that. We're like, this is never getting anywhere. We're having fun, but this is the first time in a while I've been like, oh, I could actually invest time into this and try to perfect this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the coolest part about it, like being able to grow up in the scene and see yourself become like what you were watching the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's especially like what's weird for us is like, or at least for me, it's like I'll find a band and I'll get really, really stoked on them. And then it'll be like, cool. So I found you guys in my bedroom. at like 2 a.m. and I was listening to you, and you guys are really cool. And now we're playing a show together in New York. It's weird, you know? But Dad, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was even like somewhat like a music scene around here until like fall of last year.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like I would say there's like 3 scenes of young kids who put on shows. And like us with like the Dead Ringers and like Super Drugs and like Courage Mother are probably the most prominent, or at least one of the most prominent as far as like young bands, you know, because otherwise there's this sort of like divide of like, okay, there are these bands that are like kids, but then you're like, what the fuck are kids gonna do? Because sometimes you do go see a show and it's like kids, you're like, man, they do sound like they're a bunch of kids playing instruments. And then you see a show with the same age kids, you're like, oh, you know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you guys sound so good. But what'll happen is like somebody will go to that and be like, oh, you know, this band sucks. All young bands sound like this, you know? And just like, it sort of invalidates the whole thing. But then there's like this sort of divide in Maryland, where it's just like all these young kids who like, they can't get booked anywhere because they're like kids, and like some of the bands are bad, but some of the bands are really, really good. And then like 35 to 50-year-olds listening to like the Ergs and Dillinger 4, you know, and they're really cool, but like, come see my Dillinger 4 tribute band, you know. It's just like
you just called out Dinged Up.
We played with Dinged Up 2 days ago, man.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they were really nice. They're super, super nice. But
yeah, what record did they put out that Josh was talking about?
Dinged Up?
Yeah. Probably
the new Erg 7-inch, maybe?
Oh. Do they have like an involvement with like Wall Ride?
Yeah. I'm almost certain that like one of the dudes from Wall Ride is in Dinged Up.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's how they got on the that Erg show in Baltimore.
Okay, because I didn't know that they ran like
Wall Ride. I'm pretty sure the house we played at was Wall Ride.
Yeah, that's what Wall Ride Gardens.
Right, that's what Wall Ride operates out of. Yeah. It was very cool. When I walked into that place, me and Josh were literally sitting around being like, Dom should be here. You know, it was very like a U sort of space, like Descendants posters hung up everywhere.
I saw that. There was like a big all poster behind the drums.
So much Rocket from the Crypt. But
I was thinking about going to that too.
There weren't very many. It was so bad because there weren't very many. It was very fun. And we played with our iPad for the drums. But like the vibe of the space was just like, because not too many people showed up. And we have this bit where like we bring out like this like Letterman like varsity combat jacket. And we were about to do it. I'm like, we can't do this. Like, we are not doing this here. I would like I already kind of feel like an asshole when I do it. Oh my god, like not now. But
like to like 15 people, we're the greatest fucking band in the world.
Oh my god. I think it's so funny.
Are there any other like combat shows coming up? I know of like the 2.
Yeah, so there's the one at the Metro Gallery, which you are playing. Then there's the 13th of April at Joe Squared with Teenage Halloween and Dead Ringers. It's gonna be a really, really good show. Then possibly some more in DC, and there's that Weezer one. We're definitely trying to set up some over the summer. Hopefully some spring break shows, so like late April. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. There's definitely gonna be Hush Hush, a new shebang show, which is like at that basement, you know, where we did like that Dog Pound show with Combat, Beach Blonde, Dead Ringer, stuff like that. That live video you were watching on YouTube.
Yeah, that's Aaron's house, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Aaron's house, where all the Dead Ringer stuff is recorded. Hopefully, another.
Is that the $1,000 studio?
That is. So the $1,000 studio is mobile, but yes, that is the $1,000 studio.
Yeah, we talked to Aaron on Thursday, and I thought it was so fucking funny that we hit 1,000 followers that night.
The irony, because we got off the call and I was like, we're not that far away. Like, this is possible. And it was perfect.
But it didn't. Oh my god! So what had happened was like, so John Brannon posted like our picture together. And was like, oh, interview coming out this Saturday. Be sure to go check it out. And we we started to get like a couple followers from that, and then we were like, if we can get the fucking like Dead Ringers fans on this, like get us to 1,000.
Get us to 1,000. Yeah. Well, did Aaron talk about that Scary People single they put out a while ago?
No.
So when they put out Scary People, I want to say it's their most recent single. They were like, get us on Instagram to 1,000 followers, and then we'll put out a new single. And when they got to 1,000 followers, they deactivated the account. Everybody was like, are they okay? Like, because like I guess they couldn't make a post that they hit 1,000 followers because their Instagram was down. So people were like, oh my god, the Dead Ringer's gone. We're like, no, it's just 1,000 Scary People's up now. Like so obsessed with 1,000. It's like hilarious.
Somebody posted, I think it was like the Dead Ringers Confessions page. They were like, this is Aaron's angel number.
Yeah, no, 1,000 is Aaron's angel number, 100%.
Oh my god. And then
318 is angel numbers.
Wait, what?
It's just when the combat record comes.
Yeah, it's like, the Dead Ringers Confessions page posted that, and I was just like, oh, thank you. And then they were like, anything for 1,000. 1,000 is 1,000. And then I sent this. I don't know if you can read it from there, but
oh yes, I have.
Yeah, I love the part in the Dead Ringers song when it ends and they shut the fuck up. And then, do you know who runs that page?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have incriminating evidence on them. I have them barking.
Do you really?
I do. Well, and I was trying to like listen to it and figure out who it was, just like from the barking.
Yeah. No, I do know who runs that.
Okay, hold on. I'll find the barking. Oh.
Oh my god. This is bad. Huh?
Why will it not bark? I have it, but it will not bark. Damn it, man.
I believe you.
I was like, when they were like, I look forward to hearing what the boy has to say. I was like, I look forward to when the song ends.
What the boy has to say.
I look forward to when it ends because that's where the barking goes.
Oh my god.
Well, Holden, thank you so much for your time. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I am really looking forward to when you shotgun that liquid death.
Oh my god, it's gonna be. Well, you're gonna kickflip on stage. I feel like that would.
Do it.
I don't know if I can.
Do it. You have to pop the
like
tab.
cut it with
You have
this.
to pop.
No,
the
you have
tab.
to. I think you cut it first and then pop it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
It's not carbonated. It doesn't matter.
So.
Come on. Don't stop.
Keep going.
Oh, it is carbonated. It's sparkling liquid death. Shit.
Oh.
Do you hate sparkling water? I hate sparkling water.
No, I like sparkling water a lot. That just went everywhere.
I think it's gross. I can't.
I got a bucket for it.
I don't see any point in sparkling water. It's useless.
It's okay if it has like the flavoring, like the mango one, but the regular one's gross.
That one's kind of good.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's kind of good.
That just went everywhere. Well, thank you, Holden.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. All right.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.